What's up, everybody? It's Sir Mel. Trucking with Sir Mel. So on today's video, we're gonna talk about spring weather, the flush, and what that means to the milk numbers. But before we get too deep in this thing, you already know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come join the fin. Let's go. We're back. So, getting in the tanker, or if you're familiar with tanker milk world, we just going to solely focus on raw milk today. Getting into the spring weather, it's officially spring, the grass is growing, the days are getting longer. You'll eventually enter into what they call the spring flush. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what is the spring flush? I'm gonna explain it to you. So during the winter, you know, the cows go on what they call dry feed, you know, silage and stuff like that. And they take that stuff, you know, grind it up, pack it up. That's what the cows eat during the winter. Because obviously there ain't no grass growing, they can't go out to the pasture. So they build that diet for the whole winter. Well, when the grass starts growing and things dry up and the weather gets warm and all those things, the farmers are then able to put the cows out into the pastures, to the fields, and they eat the grass. So the combination of the grass being a better diet and the longer days, the drier days, sunshine, the cows, they will produce a lot more milk, like 30 to 40%, maybe 50% more milk than normal, and that will occur all the way up until that first 90, 95 degree day. Then boom, just like that, it'll drop back off again. It gets too hot, they don't make a lot. It's just too much. It takes too much energy, and they don't like moving around, and man, their stomachs get upset, and it's just so much that comes into that. But we're not even in the flush yet. We still got some time, because it's just, the temperature's fluctuating a little too much right now. Now, like this time of year, the numbers will go up a little bit, but like even looking at the weather here in Ohio, we'll have like a 50 degree day today, a 70 degree day tomorrow, then Wednesday the high is only 38 degrees or 34 or something like. It's just too fluctuating right now, and it's still, you see, I don't know if you can see the little puddles of water. It's still a little too wet, but the grass is growing. So maybe up here, but Southern Ohio, it may be different. So if you have a Southern Ohio route that's picking up milk, you know, sorry about that. You know, it may be more, it may be pick up quicker in the southern routes where it's a little more dry, or it's not as warm down there. I mean, it's not as cold down there, sorry. So that's and during the spring flush, it, you know, obviously peaks. So if you have an operation that's 5 loads a day, it may jump up to 8 or 9, because the numbers are going to go up. I mean, you only can hold so much legally. So therefore, you got to add loads to be able to cover the amount of milk that's going up. It's a busy time. It'll last for 2-3 months, man, just depending on the weather. So expect to work, you know, during that time as much as you can to be available or whatever, because it gets hectic, man. It gets busy, it gets slammed. It's that spring flush, it'll make or break you, man. But I remember my first year doing this. I've been actually, let's say 29. Today is my 3-year anniversary at this company. So I remember my first spring flush. I'm like, what is the spring flush? I'm hearing them talk about it. I didn't know. You know, I had pulled tanker, but never raw milk, man. I'm like, spring flush? What is that? They're like, oh, we just get, you know, super busy. You'll see when we get in the flush, the loads will go up or whatever. And my first flush, I'm like, okay, cool, you know, more work. But then I got into it, and I'm like, whoa, I see what they mean now. You know, it's yeah, it's if you're not prepared for it and used to it, it'll work. It'll work you, man. But I don't mind it now. This will actually be my 4th one, my 4th spring flush. So I'm prepared. I know what to expect. But you know, it can get pretty interesting, man. As the loads start coming in, and like I said, the cows they'll get out in the pastures, they'll eat the grass, and their milk numbers will go up. And I mean, it puts the strain on the farm pickup drivers. They have to pick up, you know, they have to add more on their side as well. They can only haul so much. These tanks can only haul so much. And the thing about this milk is, it ain't something that can just sit on a dock or on a truck and be rescheduled. It's got a certain amount of days to get from farm to pickup tank to transport to the dairy, man. It's got a time limit on it. So it's not, this ain't just freight that can sit and be rescheduled and, you know, oh, we'll get to it. So another thing you'll run into with the spring flush is, you know, dairies will start running out of space because they're getting so much milk. Production may not pick up. They still may run the same amount of production, but now they have 4 more million pounds of milk a month, you know, and that just don't, you know. So then you get into a situation where you're sitting and you're sitting more, and then now you're trying to unload, and guess what? You still got loads coming out, and you're chasing your tail the rest of the week. And like I said, it can get pretty it can get pretty interesting, man. So dairies, you'll find yourself sitting a little more in the spring because they don't have no room for it. The silos can only hold so much. They have to empty them first and whatnot. And you know, during the spring flush, you'll go to routes that you may not normally go, you know, locations that you may not normally go to, because they're trying to figure out who's going to buy the milk and who has room for it, who can receive it, and who can't. So it gets pretty interesting. It does. For everyone involved. I'm a little early to my delivery. If you ever wonder what a silo looks like, there's a whole bunch of them there up to the left, stainless steel. We're getting ready to make a delivery, so we're a little early. We can't check in until an hour before our delivery time. Come on, man, I got my flashers on. We can't check in until an hour before our appointment. We got 11 a.m. this morning, so my light's working. We got 11 a.m. delivery this morning, so we can check in at 10. We got 6 minutes to wait. So and whatnot. But yeah, so spring flush, like you can see up here on the right, the grass has already started growing, and so probably another, I say another 2-3 weeks or so, we'll really get into it. Maybe the numbers will start going up and it'll start coming. Then we won't still be full-fledged into it yet, but it'll be getting close. So that's the spring flush. It ain't much to it. Just be prepared to work. That's what happens in the milk world. It may happen in other worlds. I don't know. I can't speak on that. I can only speak on what I know. So yeah, that's today's video, spring flush. As always, make sure you arrive to your pickup and your delivery on time and safely. Call your loved ones, tell them you love them. Love on somebody today, but most importantly, be the reason somebody smiled today. The world needs it now more than ever. Get out and enjoy some of this good sunshine. This Trucking with Shermel, and I'm out. Peace.